Have you ever understood why contracts are the essence of our daily lives? Do you know what the basis and intricacies that a contract may hold? This video will explore on what is a contract as well as focusing on the importance of competency. Before we get into this topic, for the purpose of this video, the Malaysian law system, specifically the Contract Act 1950, will be referenced to in regards of explaining how contracts work. So, what is a contract? In accordance with Section 2H of the Contract Act 1950, defines it as an agreement enforceable by law as a contract. A contract is an agreement that is legally binding between two or more parties. A purpose of a contract is for it to create opportunities that can benefit both parties, such as employment, purchase of goods, such as car loans, house mortgages, and many more. For an agreement of a contract to be formed, both parties must be in an understanding of each other. If one party does not fully understand the other party, then the intention of entering a contract is voided. Both parties must be in harmony when entering into a contractual agreement for a contract to be legally sound. However, when entering a contract, an important factor that needs to be taken in serious consideration is the concept of competency and capacity. For a person to enter into a contract, they must be competent, being in a state of mind to fully understand the terms and implications of the contract. If they aren't competent, such as mental incapacity, then they lack the capacity to enter in the contract, making the contract voidable. Section 11 of the Contract Act 1950 states, every person is competent to contract who is of the age of majority according to the law to which he is subject, and who is of sound of mind and is not disqualified from contracting by any law to which he is subject. In Malaysia, the age of majority is 18 years old, as stated in Section 2 of the Age of Majority Act 1971. But what if a minor wants to enter into a contract? Contracts involving a minor are generally voidable and that the minor cannot be sued for it. However, there are exceptions where a minor can enter into a valid contract and be liable for such as contracts for necessities, scholarships, and apprenticeship. Scholarships and apprenticeships are concepts that get understood why minors are able to enter into a valid contract, for as they can be seen as valuable benefit for the minors. But do you know what contract for necessities is the title of? Section 69 of the Contract Act 1950 specifically states that for something to be a necessity, it must be suited for the condition of their livelihood, and if it's not deemed as a necessity, then the supplier of the necessity is entitled to be reimbursed of. Necessities typically comprise of services or items such as food, clothing, healthcare, equipment. But if the supposed necessity that a minor wants to obtain is deemed as a luxury, then the minor is not entitled to it and the contract is voided and the supplier is entitled to be reimbursed. So, imagine this scenario. A minor thinks that listening to music is necessary for them to study better. So they sign up for a music streaming service such as Apple Music or Spotify. And as the minor thinks that the service is a necessity, they don't pay the monthly subscription for it. Time passes and their access to the service is voided, as they didn't pay for the subscription. The streaming service deems that their service is a luxury and that they must be compensated for it. Hence the minor's account becomes voided and disabled, making them no longer be able to listen to music.